Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about products that I wouldn't repurchase if I had to start my makeup collection over. So these aren't necessarily products that I hate. They're just products I wouldn't go out of my way to repurchase if I lost all of my makeup, because I just think there's better alternatives out there. I just want to say, if you have any of these products and you're using them and you love them, keep doing that. I'm just here to tell you what didn't work for me or what I just wouldn't repurchase. So that's kind of all I have to say about that. What doesn't work for me may work for you. Don't take it personally. Before we jump into the video, be sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. I really appreciate when you guys subscribe. It means so much to me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and hit the little notification bell next to the subscribe button if you want to be notified when I upload. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and jump into the video. I want your love. Alright, so I'm going to start off with lip products. The first thing I want to talk about has had some controversy on YouTube. Some people love this product, some people really don't like it. This just didn't work out for me. And these are the ColourPop Ultra Matte Liquid Lipsticks. I love their Ultra Satin formula and their Lippy Sticks formula. Those are awesome. But for me, these were just too thick and cakey. It's not even that they were super drying, because I feel like I can deal with that. A lot of people said they didn't like them because they were dry. That I don't mind as much. What really bugged me about these is how much they cake and crack. It's like you do one layer and it seems thin, and then it's just like thick. And it just seems like it goes into every single line that you have on your lips. It's crazy. I feel like it's just very excessive with how much it emphasizes all those lines and kind of just like cracks up and cakes up on your lips, and then you wear it for like 30 minutes and it starts balling up on your lips. The other stuff I could deal with, but the balling up drives me crazy because it's like you try to wipe off because it feels annoying. You have like these little balls of liquid lipstick on your lips, and then you try to wipe it off and it just like goes everywhere. Like they're just little balls of pigment and they just smear everywhere. You have to be extremely careful when you're touching up with this because it just balls up more and it doesn't go away. It gets thicker. I'm just really not a fan of these, and I have not been able to make them work. I will say, when I first bought these, I didn't mind them because I hadn't really tried out a lot of other liquid lipstick formulas. This was pretty much one of the first ones I tried. I didn't really know how they were supposed to work, and just figured that that's kind of how they are, and just realized that that's not how all liquid lipsticks are. They can be really comfortable, they can be really beautiful, and just realized that I really don't like these, and I don't feel like they look good on my lips after the first 20-30 minutes. I feel like they immediately just start looking cakey and like crepey and crumbly, and yeah, they just didn't work for me. Not a fan of these. And then I actually have two more liquid lipsticks to talk about. The first one is this Kogi Kissable Liquid Lipstick. I find this to be very similar to this next one in formula. This is the BH Cosmetics Liquid Lipstick. In a way, these are very different, but in a way they're also very similar in the sense that I feel like when I apply them, they don't apply like a normal liquid lipstick. This one's a little bit more moussey and this one's a little bit more liquidy, I feel like. But when you apply them to the lips, they kind of both do the same thing, where they don't really blend with your lips. And I don't feel like it's the color. I feel like it's just like when you apply them, they kind of just slide around, which is super weird. I've never had that with a liquid lipstick. But they both look kind of cakey and thick. Like, it doesn't kind of blend nicely where your lip line ends. It just looks cakey and like not flattering. I've never seen anything like it. I can't really describe it. It just doesn't blend with your lips. It doesn't go on smoothly. It just kind of lays on top of your lips, and it's so weird, but I feel like they both do that, and I don't know why. I haven't been able to have any success applying these. And this one, the BH Cosmetics one, this isn't normally the shade I would go for, but I actually bought this because it's in the shade Tabitha, and I just thought that was cool because like my name is Tabitha and I have a liquid lipstick in the shade Tabitha. Yeah, I thought that was neat, so I bought that. But again, the formula just doesn't work for me at all. I have two more lip products to talk about, and these are actually lip glosses. They're both from the drugstore. I actually forgot to mention, but all these products are from the drugstore. Not because I don't think that there's bad high-end makeup. I just researched the high-end makeup that I bought a lot and made sure it was something I like. Looked at a lot of reviews, and I have ended up liking most of the high-end makeup that I've gotten, just because I don't go out and spend money on things that I don't know if I'm gonna like, really. Anyways, moving on. The first lip gloss is the Hard Candy Plumping Serum Volumizing Lip Gloss. This one is in the shade Swan Lake. And then I have this Almay Color and Care Liquid Lip Balm in the shade Nutrients. That's interesting that it says liquid lip balm because I find it to be just a lip gloss, but I guess if they're trying to get creative with the names or whatever. They're both kind of like this light milky pink color. They're pretty sheer, but they do have that slight like milky pink color to them. I find these to be very similar in texture and the way they look. This one, the reason that I don't like it mainly is because it has the most awful chemically taste. When you apply this to your lips, for me, when I applied it, it was literally just like tasting a bunch of chemicals, which is so odd. Not only did it taste like chemicals when you apply it, but it stayed. The whole time I was wearing this, it was just like I was eating chemicals, and it didn't even get in my mouth. It's just the fact that it was like near the inside of my mouth. It just tasted so bad, and I couldn't wear this again because of that. So that one I don't like. This one, actually, I don't find anything wrong with it. I think this is pretty. I just think that there's a lot better lip glosses at the drugstore. I really do. I think that the NYX Butter Glosses are amazing. Flower Beauty has some really beautiful glosses as well, and there's just a lot of other pretty glosses out there, and I just don't think that this is on the same level as those. I just don't think it's worth the money to go buy this because I don't feel like it's anything special. It isn't bad, it's pretty, but I just wouldn't repurchase it at all. Definitely not the best formula that I've tried. Now that I've gotten all the lip products out of the way, I want to talk about a mascara. This is the CoverGirl, the Supersizer Mascara. I actually bought this because Tati was talking about it, and I always trust her recommendations, and she just said it was like one of her favorite drugstore mascaras. I bought it, I tried it several times, tried to make it work. I just don't really feel like this does much for my lashes. It's super natural, and it's called Supersizer, so I feel like that name is kind of misleading. I also don't really like the brush on this. I feel like it's pointless. The wand actually gets thicker at the end where it would normally get thinner because you want to get into those little lashes right, so you want it to be smaller and tapered in there, but it actually tapers out, which I don't really see a point to that. I'm not sure why it's like that. I just don't think it really works well. I feel like it makes your lashes clump, but at the same time it doesn't give it any volume or length. It clumps because there's not enough bristles on it. Like the wand has very short bristles and there's not enough of them, so I feel like it doesn't do much in kind of getting in there and applying it nicely to your lashes. It kind of just like swipes it on. If you were to have just like a wand with 0 bristles and put mascara on and just like clumped up and did not separate your lashes at all, kind of feel like that's what this does. Just not really a fan. It didn't work for me. If it works for you, great, but I just definitely wouldn't repurchase this, and I wouldn't recommend it because I think there's so many better mascaras at the drugstore. I wouldn't recommend. Okay, so now I want to talk about a liquid illuminator, highlight, whatever you want to call it. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Skin Lights Face Illuminator, and this is so glittery. It's like, it's just all glitter. And the thing is, when you apply this and you start to blend it in, it doesn't look bad, it looks nice. You feel like you're gonna get a decent glow, but then as you keep blending it into your skin, it disappears. Every ounce of shimmer, glow, color, whatever, it disappears into your skin, and then you're left with glitters, chunks of glitter. That's why I don't like this. I feel like it's pointless because everything good about this product blends away into your skin and it's gone, it disappears, and then you're just left with glitter. And like I've said before, I don't think the drugstore always knows what they're doing with their liquid highlights. e.l.f. has a really awesome liquid illuminator for a really affordable price, and it's really good. Super intensely glowy, but this, it just didn't do anything for me, and I just don't think that it's worth it at all. So yeah. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about, I do want to say I don't dislike this. I don't hate it. It's not a bad product. I actually use these every now and then. These are the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzers. I guess you could call them bronzers, but in the past, drugstore brands have had some issues with, I guess, thinking that bronzer and highlight are the same thing, or that they should be called the same thing, which is really odd. But this is definitely a highlight and this is a bronzer. Like I said, I like these products, but I just feel like there are better ones at the drugstore. I feel like there's better bronzers, there's better highlights. This one is super natural, so if you want something that like barely gives you a glow, but it's just like super kind of glow from within, this is a good one. But I would say that the Essence one is better, and that one's like $3 or $4. And there's other ones at the drugstore too that are really natural. Hard Candy has one that's really good, and I just don't think these are the best you can find. Like I said, they're really affordable. I just wouldn't spend my money on them. They take up a lot of space, and I don't find them to be the best, like I said. The other thing about these is they have a ton of kickback. They're there's so much powder kickback with these that you have to really build it up on your brush, and then it's just a mess everywhere, and I just don't think it's really worth it. This one, the bronzer is in the shade Ticket to Brazil, and the highlight is in the shade Reserve Your Cabana. And yeah, like I said, these are decent, but just don't think they're the best at the drugstore, and they do have a lot of kickback to them, so if that's something you don't like, definitely keep that in mind. Alright, so I just have 2 more products to talk about. The next one is the e.l.f. contour palette. I actually like some of e.l.f.'s little palettes that they have like this. They're really nice. This one though, I don't think it really makes sense to me. I feel like this contour shade right here is really dark. First of all, it's really dark for me. And then this bronzer shade is super like orange. Like I feel like it would fit my skin, but then it's really orange. And this shade right here, which I would take it to be kind of like a banana powder for like under the eyes, brightening maybe, definitely too dark for me as well. And then this highlight is really light. Like this might fit me on like my lightest day, but I just feel like this highlight is just super, super light. So yeah, like I said, there's a contour, a bronzer, and then this kind of like under eye setting powder and like a traditional shimmery highlight. But I just don't really feel like this palette makes sense, because I feel like maybe these 2 shades would work on one skin tone and these 2 shades would work on another. And I just don't feel like these all are like cohesive and they don't all go together. And like if you buy a palette, you want to be able to use every shade. It's not like this is a contour, this is a contour, this is a highlight, this is a highlight. They're all each individual products, and I just don't think that they go together well for what this palette is. Not my favorite thing. I know that e.l.f. does have some other palettes like this that are really nice. So maybe kind of do your research a little bit and see what else they have. Alright, and then the last product is this Maybelline Brow Drama Pro palette. This is kind of like one of those brow defining palettes. You have this highlight shade here, this is the powder, and then here is this kind of like waxy pomade type thing. This isn't a bad product. I do find that it's a little bit hard to work with, not super pigmented, and I feel like this highlight shade isn't really that great. The worst thing about this to me, there's all this extra space down here. You have this big palette, and then you've got these 3 shades right here, tiny little pans, and then you have all this space down here, which I believe there were 2 brushes that came in here that you would use with this product traditionally, but I just don't think that the brushes that come in these palettes are good. Honestly, I wouldn't use them. I would use a brush I already have, because I just don't think they do the best job with the brushes they put in these palettes. But that's fine usually if it just takes up a small amount of space, but this takes up 2/3 of the palette, and I feel like that's unnecessary. It's not awful, but I definitely think there are better brow products at the drugstore. I just don't think this is worth it. But anyway guys, so I think that does wrap it up. That wasn't too many products, but I just kind of wanted to go through my makeup collection and talk to you guys about some of the things that I just wouldn't recommend, wouldn't repurchase. So hopefully this video wasn't too negative. I really don't want to do negative videos on my channel. That is not my thing, and it's not something I want to do often, but I thought maybe this video would help you guys out in some way and give you some information on the products that just didn't work for me. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you enjoy it, and I'll see you in my next one.